Good morning, everybody, and welcome back for your weekly energy forecast. So as we do every week, let's get our beverage of choice, our coffee, our tea, whatever, and let us sit down and pull apart this week ahead that we have in front of us. I'm going to take out some carrots, tarot cards. First of all, let's see what comes up for today and tomorrow. Let's see what energetic weather is here for us today and tomorrow. We have the Lovers card. Now, what sticks out for me here is the two different colors of the people, and it's two different genders. So for me, this is about, I'm hearing the word duality. It's the darkness and the light. It's the polar opposites. It's the shadow of ourselves and the light part of ourselves. And I'm hearing the word integration. So today and tomorrow, this feels to me like we're taking and embracing the old parts of ourselves that maybe we rejected before, like the wounded parts of ourselves, the wounded inner child. And it's like we're taking that part of ourselves back and we're integrating and loving that part of ourselves. So this is about healing, it feels like, and also making a conscious choice, like as in, are we going to stay in victim mode? Are we going to identify with our old stories? Are we going to see ourselves as wounded, as hard done by, as being the victim of our circumstances of before? Or are we going to paint a new picture? Are we going to write a new story that we choose to now define ourselves by? So that doesn't mean we have to deny our story, absolutely not, but it's a case of integrating, Spirit is saying. So it's like saying, well, I experienced this and that and that, and that happened to me, and it was awful, and it was terrible, and I was victimized in some way or form. But hey, today I survived, okay? But today I'm making the best of my circumstances. Today I'm choosing to be the victor in my story. I'm the survivor. I got through it. I made it. And if I made it through all of those things, that means I can make it through anything, okay? So this is not about denying our past, denying our hurts, denying our pains. It's about making friends with it and seeing how those certain circumstances and scenarios made us stronger and gave us wisdom that we now have today because of who we've become today. Because today, Spirit is saying, we need to choose. Are we going to be in our power and stay in that power? Are we going to choose to be the sovereign leader that we're put here to be? Are we going to choose to shine our light and embrace who we've been and integrate it into the fullness of who we are? It's quite a deep message. I hope that makes sense. It's quite powerful. Okay, let's ask for some liberation, my word. I can't speak today. Maybe I haven't had enough coffee. Just push pause. Okay, let's see. Liberation. Okay, let's see what guidance is here from the wisdom of the oracle for us today. Mending. You cannot make this up. Okay, if you look at this card, those two little fairies, they're putting bunting together, but the way they're putting it together, it looks like they're mending it. And what I've never noticed with this card before, I've actually never noticed this, is if you look carefully, they're looking up into the sky and there's a face there. Hey, isn't that beautiful? So this card tells me that we need to look up, we need to have faith, not that God lives in the sky. But you get my point. We need to have faith in a higher power here. We need to trust that we're being guided and we're being led through this healing journey that we're all on. Because let's face it, we're all healing on some level. We're all putting pieces of ourselves back together on some level. So this is to do with healing. I actually feel guided that I need to read out that message. Let's see, let's find the page that this message is on. It's 52. Sorry, I will not be long. 52. Isn't this interesting? It says, each time we are hurt and allow the hurt to pass through us without understanding and integration, we accumulate an unwanted burden. This keeps us chained to the very things we need to heal, the pain, the memories, the echoes of resentments, and the arguments that we rehearse over and over. Now is the time for mending rifts, healing wounds, and letting go of the old hurts in order to reclaim your power. Now is the time to forgive, to release, to make peace, and to make amends. Set yourself free. How beautiful is that? When we integrate ourselves, we liberate ourselves. Stunning. Okay, let's get some guidance from the keepers of the light. Let's see what guidance is here for the beginning of the week. It says, Holy Amethyst, Divine Alchemy. Move beyond current challenges. Focus on what you desire. Okay, what I'm getting when I tune into this is as we are healing, as we're integrating the lost, wounded part of ourselves, as we now standing in our power, we have more power to create what we want. Okay, Spirit is reminding me here that in the beginning of the year, I kept hearing for 2022, we need to think big, we need to dream big, we need to reach for the stars, we need to like really give the universe a challenge here as to what it is that we really want in our lives. Like we are unlimited beings, okay? So the universe, remember, always says yes. Okay, so as we're dreaming big and as we're getting what we want, which we may feel is up here for us, okay, so we need to elevate. We might be feeling a bit down here, bogged down by all of our stuff, our problems, our issues, etc. So in order for us to get here, don't we need to drop our baggage? Don't we need to let go of what's holding us back and preventing us from getting what we want in the first place, right? So in other words, let's say you want to achieve more money. You want to make more money. You want to earn the best that you can for the work that you do. Okay? Great. The universe will say yes. All right? But there's blocks. There's internal blocks because maybe you had to grow up in poverty, or maybe your family dynamic, they don't have healthy ideas about money. So over this last month or so, and even filtering into this week, you might be feeling triggered financially, okay? So as we feel triggered, whenever we feel triggered, there's an opportunity to heal an old wound so that we don't react from that old story, that old conditioning. We now choose to respond from our current place of power. And as we do that, we heal that, we drop the baggage, we let it go, we release the hurt, the pain, the suffering to integrate the lost parts of ourselves that we lost in the trauma, which makes us lighter, which makes us on the same level as what we want. Okay? Interesting. So this is not a case of just, well, you're going to get whatever you wish for. Yeah, you're going to get what you wish for, but you've got to do the work. That's the little disclaimer that a lot of spiritual circles and whatnot doesn't really teach you. It's hard and it's messy, okay? Because you've got to let go of what doesn't serve you to get there first. Okay, interesting. All right. Now let us see, what energy do we have for the middle of the week? What is the energetic weather for us in the middle of the week? 8 of Swords. This card speaks about being stuck in your head and feeling limited by the limiting beliefs that you have. Because if you look at this lady, she's got all those crows around her head and she's frustrated and she's overthinking and she's tied up in these strings. But what she doesn't realize is that those strings are so thin, they're not even tight on her, they're hanging quite loosely. All she needs to do is go and break free, okay? But she's struggling to do that because she can't see straight. She looks blindfolded. She can't see straight because of all the fears that are holding her back, right? We cannot see when we're in fear, I'm hearing Spirit say. We cannot see when we're in fear. And Spirit is saying it is literally only fear, the fear of the unknown, that holds us back. So bouncing back again to dreaming big this year, really going after what our heart really desires, really going after that, wanting that, dreaming big, etc., etc. And then as we take a little step towards it, here's the fear. Here's a little goblin on the shoulder that says, but you can't do that. You can't get that right. You never got that as a child. That was taken away from you as a child. That was not how you were raised. Who do you think you are for dreaming big? Sit down and go back to being stuck. But we don't like being stuck, you see. And the best part of this is we change when we get hot full of feeling stuck. When we're sick and tired of feeling stuck. Like we'd rather face the fear of the unknown than be stuck. That's when we change, okay? So let's get some guidance. Let's get some elaboration for the middle of the week from the wisdom of the oracle. Peace. How beautiful is that? Peace. What sticks out for me on this card is the egg. And eggs always represent new beginnings. So as we choose to feel peaceful, they're saying peace is actually a point of power. Peace is a point of power. So when we're feeling stuck here and limited and we're feeling trapped by the stories that our mind is telling us, okay, if we just go into a state of peace, whatever peace looks like for you, peace could be sitting in your garden with a nice cup of tea. It could be sitting quietly for 5 minutes with no technology or no noise. Peace could be stopping and smelling the roses. Whatever is peace for you, find your center and find your peace and find your calm. Because we cannot hear the guidance of spirit when we're here, okay? We need to find a place of calm and peace in order to get the answers, to get the guidance, to hear our inner self, our higher self, our true self, our intuition. We can only hear that loudly when we're in a place of peace. And peace is a receptive energy. When we're sitting still and sitting quietly, then the answers come. Okay, let's get some elaboration from the keepers of the light for the middle of the week here. What guidance is here? It says, Joan of Arc, voice of truth. Stand strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution, and speak your truth. So for me, this is about authenticity. This is getting yourself unstuck by being true to yourself and being real, right? So in other words, maybe some of our fears involve, well, if I decide to make this decision, if I choose this path, which I feel is authentic for me and real and true for me, what if people don't like it? What if people don't like me? What if people don't like what I'm saying? What if? Be your true, authentic self, because that brings peace, okay? So when you're being true to yourself and being real, it's actually quite calming and quite soothing, because Spirit is saying nothing bad will happen to you. I heard that loudly. Nothing bad will happen to you when you stand in your truth and when you're being authentic. Now, Joan of Arc, she was quite a tough cookie back in the day. She wasn't fearful of anything, hence her armor. She's very, very strong. She spoke up, boy, in times when speaking up was not exactly encouraged. So let's take a leaf out of Joan of Arc's book and let's be a warrior for our own truth, our own authenticity, and what is good and right for us. Okay? Don't be afraid. Nothing bad will happen to you, I'm hearing. Okay. Let's get some further guidance for Friday and the weekend. What guidance is here for the end of the week? 3 of Pentacles. As I drew this card, I heard the word collaboration, pulling together, unity, standing together as one towards a common goal. Once again, we're not alone. We don't have to do any of this alone. We can reach out to others. We can reach out to Spirit, as this picture here with the higher power, the face in the sky. Okay? We don't have to do any of this alone. I'm also hearing creative solutions. So Spirit is saying, let's get out of our heads, right? Let's get out of our heads and let us go into action. What can we do, or what guidance is coming through? What action do we feel that we need to take to help to solve certain problems, or to help to get us from point A to point B, or to help us to get that thing, that situation, that way of being that we want? What actions can we take? Because Spirit is saying the results will be almost instantaneous, and they'll be better than we think. The results will be better than we think. Okay, let's get some guidance now from the wisdom of the oracle for Friday and the end of the week. A change in the wind. Please notice that it's like everything that doesn't serve, there's this burden that seems to be sitting on the zebra's back has been blown away by the wind. So releasing, I'm hearing. So Friday and the weekend we'll be shedding some skins, we'll be feeling that heaviness go. So this week feels like it's a work week where we really work. Well, we're always working on ourselves, aren't we? But Spirit is saying this week is next level, okay? So we're leveling up, we're working on ourselves, we're releasing what no longer serves, and I'm hearing blessed change. Now, we always think change is something that's frightening because it pulls us out of our comfort zone, but change is exactly what is needed, and I'm hearing quick change, and it's change that we've wanted, right? So whether it's a new job, a new baby, a new partner, and whatever it is that you're wanting, with this new experience that you're wanting to have, Spirit is saying it's going to come in quite quickly, because this week we would have done the work. We would have faced the triggers, we would have integrated and healed those lost parts of ourselves. We'll be real and authentic and speaking up and going after what it is that we want, and as a result we align with what we want and we get it. Okay, let's get some guidance from the keepers of the light. We have hope. It says love and acceptance. Love is yours. Recognize your divine worth. Choose loving thoughts. And when I tune into the energy of this card, I get heart healing. And they're saying throughout this week, lots of heart healing. Again, healing the old wounds, right? Loving and accepting yourself for the divine being that you are, which makes it easier to have compassion for those around us. Doesn't mean we need to go and love everybody around us. It just means it gives us greater and deeper understanding and wisdom when it comes to other people. Also, when I tune into this card, Spirit is saying worth. It's your worth. Like all the good that you want, all that you want to experience next, you are worthy of those things, right? So that means because now you know that you're worthy of them, it is easier now for you to receive those things. So be open to receiving that, what it is that you've asked for, because you're worthy and deserving. That's why. Okay, so there's lots of light at the end of this tunnel. Now, I feel guided to take a card from my newest deck. It's called the Gateway of Light Activation by Carl Gray. It is a majestic deck. It is a very complicated is the wrong word, deep. It's a very intense deck. So I just want to pull one out here for us that is going to really help us and guide us. And I want to read out the wording from the guidebook, because it's just beautiful. The way it's written is so beautiful. How majestic is this and how appropriate. It says, halls of learning, spirit guides, confirmation, great lessons. How beautiful. Okay, let's look up the meaning of this card. Halls of learning. It says here, you are on the path to great learning. Spiritual beings are drawing close to support you. If you are facing challenges or difficult circumstances, or have just moved through such a time, you're being called to review what you've learned about yourself. If you're still feeling overwhelmed by a certain event or asking why it happened, call on Source and your guides to reveal to you the pattern, the trauma, or the wound, we're just talking about that, or the wound that has contributed to this challenge. If you aren't experiencing challenging energy, the reason is that you've made huge progress on your spiritual journey. So much so that your perspective has shifted so that you can view every challenge as a window of opportunity. The halls of learning gateway indicates that your spiritual gifts are developing at this time. Okay, how beautiful is that? So that just basically sums up exactly what this week is about. We are learning, we are realizing we are much more powerful than we could ever have thought because we've overcome so much. And now we really just need to love and accept ourselves for who we are becoming, loving and accepting our past and blessing our past, every messy bit of it, because it's who we are as a whole and complete and divine being that is on the path of healing, on the path of ascension, and on the path of growth and evolution. Okay, so there you go, guys. I hope that helps. I hope that it gives you a little bit of inspiration for the week ahead. And you just go take it easy and have a beautiful week. Sending you all so much love. Have a beautiful week. Take care. Bye.